Hey everyone, thanks for being here. It's springtime and the Harley demo trucks are out and about making their weekend stops so that riders can check out the various 2024 Harley models. We're continuing on with our bike comparison videos from my test rides, a series I'm now calling the 2024 Versus series. You can view the full series here. I also invite you to subscribe and hit that like and notification buttons. If you like the video, I'd really appreciate that. For those of you who have been following the series, you might want to use the chapter links below to skip to the review. The next couple of minutes of intro are going to sound a little familiar. For those who haven't seen any of the comparison videos yet, there's something very important to be aware of if you choose to check out one of these demo weekends. When you're a rider with at least some level of experience, these rides can be a bit challenging depending on the riders in front of you. Some of them can be quite new and are still afraid of the bikes or a little unsure of themselves, which can slow things down. I think one of my pet peeves is people who slow way down on the corners so that they don't have to lean the bike very much. Part of the challenge, I know, is that you're riding different styles of bikes. Some have mid controls, some have forward controls, some have floorboards, some have foot pegs. A couple of them have heel-toe shifters. On some, the clutch engages right away. On others, it's almost all the way out before it engages. So it really can be challenging to go from bike to bike. Each one has a different feel to it. But still, if you're not going to lean your bike going around a corner, my opinion, go ride a trike. Let's talk about the bikes that are available to ride this year on the demo weekends. We have the Nightster Special, the Sportster S, the Pan America Special, and the CVO Pan America, the Street Bob, the Fat Boy, the Lowrider S and Lowrider ST, the Breakout, the Heritage Classic, Road King Special, Street Glide, Road Glide, CVO Street Glide, CVO Road Glide ST, Road Glide Limited, Ultra Limited, and the Road Glide 3 Trike. Here in PA, if you ride a trike, you have to have a special license for that. So that one was actually set aside in case anyone came in who wanted to do that. The bikes that are not in the lineup are the Nightster Standard, Softail Standard, CVO Road Glide, since they have the CVO Road Glide ST in there, the Freewheeler and Tri-Glide Ultra Trikes, and of course the Hydra Glide, which is this year's icon bike. The only two bikes I did not ride were the Pan America Special and the CVO Pan America, because Short Legs McShorty Pants here, with his 29-inch inseam, did not feel like dealing with the 31-inch seat height on those bikes. I know the seat height's lower when you're coming to a stop and when you're at a stop, and then they kick back up when you're riding. I know all that, but even at their lowest, I think the lowest is 30.5 inches. And I would rather get some more experience riding bikes with a taller seat height before I go to ride one of those in particular. I have no idea when that's going to happen. Today we're going to look at the sport bike options available from Harley. The Nightster Special and the Sportster S are the two bikes available to ride on the demo weekends. Let's talk about the similarities, differences, and the riding experience on these two bikes. First, let's talk specs. Both of these bikes have the Revolution Max engine. Both are very lightweight. Both have a small 3-gallon tank and have an aggressive forward-leaning riding position. The Nightster Special has the Revolution Max 975 engine, which has 72 foot-pounds of torque and 91 horsepower. It weighs 483 pounds with a full tank of gas, has mid controls, 27-inch seat, 4.5-inch ground clearance, and 32 degrees of lean angle on both sides. The Sportster S has the Revolution Max 1250 with 93 foot-pounds of torque and 121 horsepower. Weight is about 20 pounds more at 502 pounds. This has forward controls, a 29-inch seat, only 3.5-inch ground clearance, but you have 34 degrees of lean angle on both sides. The forward controls on this, with the forward-leaning aggressive riding position, give that clamshell feel a little bit similar to the Breakout, but the Sportster S is a smaller bike, so it's not exactly the same. It's a bit of a different feel than the Breakout is. Even though these are labeled as sports bikes, they're closer to street or naked bikes. They don't really compare apples to apples with the naked bikes that are out there, your Japanese bikes. For instance, the Nightster Special has about the same torque as a Kawasaki Z900, but the same horsepower as a 650. Same thing goes for the Sportster S. It has the horsepower of a Z900, but the torque that a 1200cc bike would probably have, although I don't think there are any 1200cc naked bikes out there. These bikes are definitely designed to find that balance between a Harley cruiser and a sport bike by keeping the V-twin engine in place, but making that engine sound a little bit more like a parallel twin. The forward leaning position of your upper body combined with the forward controls on the Sportster S also makes the bike kind of sit in that middle ground as well. These bikes are both fun to ride if you like that forward leaning aggressive position on a bike. With how lightweight they are, they're incredibly easy to zip around the corners. My first impression of the Nightster when I got on it was that it was actually almost too light. It made me feel like the bike was fragile. I rode the Nightster twice. The first time I rode it, it felt very slow to accelerate, kind of sluggish, because I forgot to look at the riding modes. So the second time I rode it, I made sure to put it in sport mode and it was much better. Harley people typically put the bikes with riding modes into rain mode while in the parking lot of the demo area so that people with less experience don't have to deal with the very sensitive throttle that comes with regular mode or sports mode. If you're looking for a lightweight, nimble, sporty bike but still want a V-twin Harley, check out the Nightster and Sportster S. The Nightster is a great commuter or bum around town kind of bike, and the Sportster S gives that extra little sizzle for those who want to kick it up a notch. I know that when Harley discontinued the Sportster Evo and brought out the Sportster S, there was a significant amount of complaining from us older, more traditional Harley people. Of course, we know that the reason Harley did this was to try and attract younger riders, and it appears like it might be working. I don't know if it's working enough to make a difference, but most of the people I saw riding these bikes at the demo weekends were younger people. I've also seen more of them popping up on the road as well, at least with the Sportster S. I don't think I've seen any Nightsters on the road yet, but I have seen more Sportster S's this year than I did last year. If I had to choose between the two, I would actually go with the Nightster, even though it has less power. I think the mid controls make the ride more comfortable, make the bike easier and more fun to ride. Let me know your thoughts though. If you were looking at the Harley sports options, which one would you choose? Thanks for watching everyone. Take care.